What's up, Age of Empires fans? It's FitzBro, and we've got some breaking news coming through about Red Bull Wololo El Reinado. Now, I'm going to cut straight to the chase for you. Yesterday, you learned Age of Empires 4 was going to be participating, but that it would be Empire Wars, which is not an extremely popular game mode, especially with the esports scene almost non-existent. There isn't a ranked ladder for this. Nobody plays this game mode, and it left a lot of people wondering, like, how did they sit down and come up with this decision to play Red Bull Wololo with Empire Wars for AoE4? Well, Red Bull has done right by this. This morning, I was sitting here getting ready to go live to make this video, and I'm looking here, and Chris from Red Bull was typing, and look what he has posted. There's this little video. I'm like, what is this? Talking about the qualification trials being the 20th through the 4th. Anyone brave enough can enter the competition, and all matches being played using Empire Wars. Some kind of blurb that they had, and he comes through and deleted, gets rid of Empire Wars. So it's going to be played in the game mode that you know and love. And man, this is great news. This is just the day after they really announced the event. And you know, it's not very common for tournament admins to make quick decisions like this. Usually they stick to their guns. I mean, think about if you go back 2 years ago, all the controversy around like the B ban and all that stuff, and people were trying to get answers, and then really Red Bull just didn't comment anything on that, right? Just here the next day, Red Bull has removed Empire Wars from the tournament, and everyone's rejoicing. It was seriously starting to become a in here because people were pretty upset about this Empire Wars facet of the tournament. But let's talk about the event in its whole, okay? So Red Bull Wololo El Reinado is going to be in Spain this October, the 3rd through the 6th. Now, the games that are going to be included, it's going to be Age of Empires 1, Age of Empires 2, AoE4, and maybe my personal most excited, Age of Mythology Retold. Now, very sadly, yet again, AoE3 has been snubbed, which is crazy. I don't understand why they just continually like to just forget about it. They could even do maybe just an online portion or something, but you include literally everything from the franchise. AoE3 isn't there again. I do think that it's worth just a little something here. I don't get how it could be completely excluded, especially when we've got games like AoE1 still being a big part of the event. But that's a conversation for another time. Let's talk about what they're doing with Age of Empires 4. So with AoE4, there's this qualifier, and I've opened this up here, which brings you over to the El Reinado start.gg qualifier. So this is going to take place from July 20th through August 4th, and this will all be online. So the really unfortunate part about Red Bull Wololo for AoE4 is they're only going to have the final match of the entire thing, the Grand Championship, right, be in the castle. Not only that, they have already seeded Marine Lord straight through to the final. So the worst place Marine Lord can get is second place, and that already guarantees a pretty big cash prize. And I can't help but think that really feels like a show match to me. How can you call it a tournament and you've already seeded through the person in the championship? And I get it for them won the hype of the defending challenger standing on, like, what is this, winner stays on? Is like, that's what it more feels like. But I really do think Marine Lord would be worthy of making it through to that last spot. I don't think many people would disagree with that, but I would love to see him compete along the way to get there, being seeded right to the second place. But not only that, that means there's only one spot left if you have aspirations of making it to Red Bull Wololo. So there's plenty of players that are in that top 16, top 12, top 8 category that could stand a shot. But you're going to, if you're trying to make anyone of a esports career or do Age of Empires 4 full or more than part-time, you need certain assurances with things like big tournaments, be able to make it through the final rounds. And this tournament really only offers one spot for anyone to make it to that main stage on that castle. Now, the rest of the tournament is still online and still plenty of money left to be had. As you can see here, you've got third and fourth place making $3,500, $1,700, $750. But think about in the scheme of like if you're a full-time gamer and like if you're making your month's rent or whatever through winning tournaments and like you're placing within the top 8, which is quite hard to do, like this might be good for a month, 2, depending how you stretch it, but it's definitely not too significant as far as the prize pool has been significantly scaled down. And that's a little bit sad, especially after it was just touted that AoE4 Sultans Ascend DLC last fall was the biggest DLC of all time for the Age of Empires franchise, most sold DLC. And then they turn around and decrease the prize pool and all but gut AoE4 from Red Bull Wololo, really. They've just left this skeleton of what it was before. And it's the tournament. It's the tournament's right to do this. And the only thing that I've really thought going through all this and thinking about it, everyone's had their hopes for what AoE4 Red Bull Wololo should be, yada, yada, yada. It's great that they changed the Empire Wars rules and all of that, right? But what really sticks to me is it just feels like AoE4 needs to find a new home as far as that big, massive land stage that they're seeking for. Now, I would say they've got a great home already in EGC TV. We already know that. They are partnering to run the qualifiers, all of that, just like they did last time. And obviously, EGC being, probably the #1 esports provider for the Age of Empires 4 scene. But, what people are like looking for to get out of Red Bull Wololo, what they see from AoE2, I really feel like somehow they're going to need to reach, people need to reach deep. They're going to need to reach out and find another sponsor if they really want this game to be as massive as it is you see for the AoE2 side of things. Because this tournament really did born out of the AoE2 version of it. So I was joking, but it's like we need a monster or a 5-hour energy Wololo or something, right? We need to find something else, and I feel like the trying to like get them to make AoE4 a thing at Red Bull is just like we're always going to be the outside looking in. Now, you say that as AoE4 fan, but if you're an AoE3 fan, you're like, oh, first time, right? Dead at the bottom of the ocean, right? Because they won't even include them at all. But man, I would love to have a dedicated AoE4 massive land that it deserves. And the game really is in the most balanced state it's ever been. We've been through the good, bad, and ugly from launch to here we are, spring of 2024, and the 1v1 balance you're playing across civs is very, very good. Very fun to play. There's also this new FFA mode that recently came out that's been quite fun, and I think the game is like better than ever. There's been very weird marketing or lack thereof. Really, a lot of times I'm afraid to talk about some of stuff that you might consider be some of these NDA privileges, but there has been literally no talk going on. There's nothing to even talk about. It's just everyone's been in the dark, same as the rest of the community. Like, I don't know who they talked to with Red Bull to come up with some of these tournament rules because everyone was in shock of like, what is going on? Why is it like this? But let's look at some of the fact here for Reinado. It's talking about all the different games going to be there. AOM, I'm very excited to see how that's going to pan out. Leave me your prediction below. When do you think Age of Mythology is going to officially launch? The question is it going to be in launch when this comes out, or will this be a show match to preview, maybe a launch coming in November or December? That's what you kind of wonder here with that. Can you participate? Anyone can play in the qualifiers, but good luck to you. If you haven't been playing super competitive on the esports scene, they're going to smoke you. It's very, very, very competitive, but you can sign up for the qualifiers. Good luck. Where does it take place? It's going to be in Spain. And what can I win in El Reinado? Look at these prize pool differences. This is why you hear people being so upset. You've got 30K with AoE1, 150K with AoE2, and then 50K. 50K, 150K. That is a crazy difference. And even Age of Mythology getting a 10K prize pool. And, we'll come back to it again. AoE3 being snubbed. You could literally have a $1,000 show match, and that would be better than nothing. You couldn't find 1K in the budget of all of this, 240K? To have one AoE3 and have the truly full Age of Empires franchise. Somebody who's in charge of it just hates AoE3 that much. Like, I don't watch or really like AoE1, but like, I'm glad they're invited. Like, I don't know why this keeps happening. Where can you watch it? It's going to be on the Red Bull YouTube as well and Twitch channels, and show with any of your favorite streamers. So all of that, EGC will officially cast the entirety of the qualification stage. And then tickets. Now this is another really point of contention. I don't plan on going to El Reinado. I'm having a baby literally in a few weeks, imminently. I can't go. But even if I wanted to, by the time I looked at my phone notification to see that they had announced this yesterday, all the tickets were already sold out, which is really, really shitty. Like, if you really wanted to go, maybe you live in Spain and you really wanted to go, they didn't announce when they'd be dropping tickets. They didn't give you an opportunity to get in a queue. No, nothing. It was just like, boom, tickets out, instantly gone. Right? These things are hotter than Taylor Swift tickets. They're gone. You're not going to get one. You're not going to find one on StubHub or Ticketmaster. And that kind of stinks for a massive LAN. And maybe it really just comes down to like the limiter being the spaces, right? These castles, they aren't big modern event spaces, right? They're good for holing up in and battling, I guess, back in the medieval days. But this leads me back to what I'm saying about, like, it would be great to get a true Las Vegas LAN for AoE4 hosted by AGC with name your biggest sponsor with FitzBro casting, right? That would just be the best. So that's going to hold out my hopes for, and I really think that's what it's going to need to happen for the future. I'm glad AoE4 is being included. They could have been AoE3'd, and not get included at all. But I'm glad they're going to be there. I think for the future, we need to figure out something. Because we want a big, massive LAN, bring everyone together, get all these nerds in a room and battle it out. I want an FFA stage. We can have our Empire War stages. We can invite the Red Bull Wololo admins to participate in. We can have the brand new modes, whatever it's going to be. But anyways, that's going to be it for Age of Empires for El Reinado. Now, if you've been subscribed for the channel for a while, you might have noticed I've had a lot less videos. I am having a baby in a few weeks and been a lot of busyness around the house. I moved offices, as you can see. This is a different office. I'm now in the basement. I actually don't know if I've made any YouTube videos down here yet, but going to be streaming when I'm able to. Just going to be obviously a lot different here over the next few months and I guess the rest of my life. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave me a comment below, subscribe to the channel, and keep an eye on all these Red Bull happenings. Who knows what else might change? I'll be watching this Red Bull Wololo chat. You can see someone's typing every minute. Marine Lord's in there. Get in there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.